Hello there, good noon, and this is Vikrant, and I welcome you to BYJU'S exam prep channel to help you realize your MBA dreams. I am smiling because some people are also using my video today as their, what should I call it, dating app or what? In fact, I've seen that earlier too. Some people log on to some random video, start talking to somebody else, and then बट आज वाले की ना वो नहीं हुई अच्छी एंडिंग, क्योंकि द लास्ट मैसेज इज फ्रॉम वासु. इट सेज बिना बताए चली गई. अब पता नहीं क्या पूछा था उसने. आई एम एक्चुअली क्यूरियस बिकॉज आई एम नॉट एबल टू रीड और सी ऑल द मैसेजेस. So there you go. So my name is Vikrant. I am your personal coach for all things English communication and mental fortitude, toughness, psychological makeup, and I keep on bringing a lot of sessions for you where we work on these things together. So we started this series a while ago. It's called 500 most important CAT questions, and this is the 12th iteration of that particular session. So we are going to go ahead and work on these areas today further up. And in case you happen to have any questions whatsoever, make sure that you do let me know. So let's get cracking. And oh, before I forget, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you think you're going to enjoy it, you can also like it in anticipation, because a like from you is going to be the most important thing for me during this session. So ready for the first passage? Let's dive in. Here is the first paragraph of the first passage. The moment you're done reading it, drop a quick done or a yes in the comment box down below, and I'll take you over to the next slide. Okay, so next paragraph. I hope you're done by now. Should I take you over to the next one? So here comes the next paragraph. Mm. Okay, here is the next one. And this is the last paragraph. After this, we'd have questions. So are we through? आज सोनाली के अलावा और कोई बता ही नहीं रहा है, बाकी लोग पढ़ भी रहे हैं कि नहीं? Okay, so here comes the first question. What's your answer? Yep. Okay, so Sonali has shared her answer. Sri has also joined in, so that's nice. Okay, so basically, in this particular question, if you go to the third paragraph, you'd be able to find out all of these things. Old mobile phones to capture sounds, satellite tracking, yes, global forest watch should have been a capital F and a capital W according to the passage though. But D, sending short video clips, has not been mentioned, and that is why, because it says not away, our answer should indeed be option D. Okay, and with that, let me take you over to question number 2. So go ahead, give it a shot and tell me what you think. Sneha, that's correct. Okay, so who's going to tell me in the comment box what we do when it comes to inference based questions? How do we approach it? Do share the answer, but along with it, if you can also share your approach, that will be absolutely remarkable. Yes, absolutely S3, indeed. So shall we use this approach? Deforestation has been a problem even before the Ice Age. So inference is a conclusion that we can draw on the basis of the given facts. Facts are provided by the passage. Now on the basis of those facts, we evaluate every answer choice and label it as true, false, or can't say. So the passage does talk about what has happened in the domain of deforestation since the Ice Age. The passage does not even talk about the period before the Ice Age, and therefore, can I say, to use that mathematical lingo, that the data provided are insufficient, and therefore the label that we apply will be can't say. Okay, B. Agriculture has been a blessing in disguise for humankind. Going by this passage, it is causing the problem of deforestation. So, is it a blessing? Number one. Number two, in disguise, where, oh, you did not know it is going to turn out to be a blessing, what it did, again cannot be determined, and therefore can't say. Okay, C. Many forests in the world are protected because they help in mitigating some. Is this spelling correct? Guys, is this spelling correct? Or should we change it? Isn't the word crisis? What say you? तो ये जो 16-17 सेकंड का लैग है ना यार, मेरे बोलने के बाद तुम तक बात जाने में इतना इंतज़ार करवाता है मुझे. तुम लोग तो बात जल्दी जवाब दे देते हो, मगर मुझे यहाँ पे बेसब्री हो जाती है, इम्पेशेंस हो जाती है. So yes, this word is correct. Crisis is singular. The plural of crisis is spelt with an E, and this ES is pronounced as ease. So crisis, crises. You have a lot of such nouns that end in IS and their plural is created by by replacing that I with an E. Analysis, analyses. Diagnosis, diagnoses. Hypothesis, hypotheses. So in this particular passage, if you look back at the second paragraph, it says that yes, there are forests around the world which are protected because they help us take care of two crises. So two can be definitely stated as some, and mitigating is addressing, can be termed as mitigating in that context. So C is true. How about D? Illegal deforestation should not be stopped if the land is being used for agricultural purpose. Well, the passage will not support it. The passage says even if it is being used for agriculture purposes, we need to do something in order to stop deforestation. So D, going by the passage, is actually false. So A and B can't say. C is true, D is false. What should we choose as our answer? No doubt C, the one which is true, and therefore that makes it right. And we also learned something about crisis and crises along with some such words. It'll come in handy some way or the other. Okay, the next one. Question number 3. So what do we choose? With a global population fast approaching 8 billion, A, it is imperative for us to preserve the environment. Okay. B, it is imperative for us to clear more forests for agricultural usage. This is something that is not supported by the passage. So, I mean, if I use the elimination approach, I'd say B is very easy to rule out. Okay. C, it is equally necessary to prevent illegal deforestation. So, between A and C, you realize there is a difference. A says it is imperative for us to preserve the environment. So you have to preserve the environment. Imperative basically says that you don't have a choice, you don't have any other course of action. Whereas C says it is equally necessary. So you need to prevent illegal deforestation, but then there is something else which is also needed along with it. Let us see which one of these two is consistent with the passage. So let's go back. Let's head back to the passage and then see the language that is used by the passage in the second paragraph. This is where the relevant part is. So, we have a temptation to clear more forests. These realities have combined to highlight the global problem of illegal deforestation. So basically says that yes, there are 8 billion of us, but then we still need to find a way to stop illegal, third question, deforestation. So when I compare A with C, point number 1, A talks about the environment, C limits itself to illegal deforestation, which is more in line with the passage, and second, A says that we have no other choice. Whereas C says it is equally necessary. So, which is once again more consistent? The author is not saying that, okay, let people die. We'll not add more agricultural land. He's saying that this is a challenge that we need to resolve. So, equally necessary is also a better turn of phrase for such a situation. And therefore, I will personally prefer C over A. Shraddha, yes. We indeed started at 12. In case you're joining in right now, what you can do is that you can solve the second passage live, which will start in a little while. We have one more passage after this, and you can do the first passage later. Okay. So here is the next question. Question number 4 on the screen. What's your answer? So those of you tuned in right now, you can take a break for another 3-4 minutes and then come back in. So in a way, what this question says is, what symbolizes the large scale of destruction? What symbolizes it? Okay, so Sonali has shared her answer. Sri too, and I absolutely agree with both of you. It is indeed B. So in the very first paragraph, the authors mentioned the fact it was large was that you could even see it from space. Satellites could pick it up. It was so huge, right? So here comes the next and the last question based on this passage before we move over to the next one. Another inference question. Go ahead. Now, by now you know how to approach it, right? Illegal deforestation is a local problem. False. The passage says it is a global problem, so A is definitely ruled out. Has led to grave consequences? Can't say. It can lead to grave consequences. So far we have not witnessed those, so B can also be ruled out. I shouldn't say ruled out, but okay, can't say. C, technology can be used to significantly reduce the problem of illegal deforestation. True. D, governments all over the world are skeptical of technology's role. Can't say. Maybe there are some governments that are skeptical, maybe there are some that are not. Cannot be determined on the basis of the passage. All we know is that technology solutions are there, and there are some nations that are using those solutions for sure. In fact, why one can't say? Because there are some nations that are using those sources. We can definitely label it as false. So A and D are anyway ruled out. B's can't say, C is true. So we choose C as our answer, which is absolutely correct. Okay, if you are skeptical, then it means that you are not very sure whether something will work or not. A simpler word that we use in place of skeptical, Sri, is doubt. Sonali is, in fact, as Sri stated, doubtful. Absolutely. So with that, let's ready ourselves for the next passage. So take a couple of deep breaths, let the previous passage go, and then get ready to focus once again on a passage where the theme and the language is going to be a little more challenging than the first one. Ready? Here it is. Sonali, what is D about right now? So are we through with this paragraph? Just quickly let me know in the comment box, guys. Fantastic. Okay, so just a couple of things. This is pronounced a bar class. So you've seen these ballet dancers practicing. Ballet dancers would usually have this bar at the side of the room that comes to around their waist, and they hold it during their exercises. That bar is actually spelled B-A-R-R-E, and bar class is a fitness class which combines elements of ballet, yoga, Pilates, a bit of cardio, and then, so the focus is not on teaching you dance, the focus is on moving towards fitness. For example, you've seen a lot of these classes nowadays that conduct Zumba or Bhangra fitness routines. So something along those lines. Okay. Here comes the next paragraph. Hi Prajwal, you're a little late to the party today, huh? Okay, so here comes the next and the last paragraph. Okay, fantastic. So here is a word precarity. Precarious basically means uncertain or dangerous. You know, precarious situation is an uncertain or a dangerous situation. So precarity is the state of being uncertain, or the state where things are likely to get worse. And nowadays, with a lot of layoffs happening in the tech world, precarity is also being used in its secondary meaning very frequently around us, and that secondary meaning is a situation in which someone's job or career is always in danger of being lost. That's the meaning which is relevant here. So once again, precarity in the context of this paragraph is a situation in which someone's job or career is always in danger of being lost, right? So here comes the question. Go ahead and answer it. Okay, Prajwal, that was quick. So we are talking about the purpose, right? So A says to state that optimization has become a part and parcel of modern life. It's kind of become necessary. Mentioned in the last paragraph. B, should be to identify the need of optimization to progress in life. Let me just fix it along with it if I can. Not the identify, but to identify. Let's just fix it alongside. So to identify the need of optimization to progress in life. You notice this has become positive, where the author is not in favor of what is happening, and therefore B can be eliminated. Okay, C, to show how places like Sweet Green teach us about optimization. So is that the focus? Sweet Green has been used as an example of how we are forced to optimize. Are we out there trying to learn it? No. Is there something to learn? No. In fact, there is something to unlearn and not learn. And therefore, even C can be eliminated. So that leaves you with A and D. Let's look at D. To remove the unhealthfulness, a result of urban professional living. Is that the purpose? The purpose is to make us aware of what is happening. It does not tell us that we need to remove it or how we need to remove it. And therefore, even D can be eliminated. The best answer choice, which is consistent with the passage, is A. So I think basically A versus C was what I was going for while designing this question. I wanted to confuse you between these two. So the problem with C, if you look at it from the perspective of main idea, is that it talks about just a part of the passage. That's number one. And number two, look at the overall tone. The author's tone is negative about sweet green. Look at what it says. See, the ritualization and neatness of this process obscure the intense circular artifice that defines the type of life it is meant to fit into. So they deceive us. That's not reality. Why would we want to learn from it? We just want to become aware of the fact that it is false. It is designed to fool us. Okay, so A it is. And with that, let's dive into our next question. The expression snort down a bowl of nutrients means. So I think this is something that can be addressed with the help of the context. Okay, now snort. You notice snorting is generally used with drugs like cocaine. When you snort cocaine, you just take it through your nose. So here you're not taking it through your nose, but the context tells us that snorting down is where you just quickly gulp it all. Remember, eating it in 10 minutes so that you can go ahead and work once again. So to eat a healthy meal, the overall connotation here is negative. So to eat a healthy meal, no. Eat fast for the sake of eating. Yeah, you have to work, but then you also need to stay alive. So you just somehow give your body some nutrition. B comes close. C, eat slow for pleasure. Where is the pleasure in gulping it all down in 10 minutes? Eat for the taste of the food. Come on, man. All of us know when it comes to taste, will we eat salads? Taste. Why do they order salads? Let me take you back to this part in the passage which uses something really shocking. Free one's hand and eyes from the task of consuming nutrients. So where is that eating for pleasure at all here? And that is why, say, the best answer choice that we have here is option B. And here is the next one. Question number 8 on your screen. Should be easy, but let us see how you tackle. Okay, so you know hamsters. Hamsters are like those, they're cousins of rats, right? Those really cute little rats, fluffy, soft, black and brown. I, in fact, at one point of time had a couple of hamsters as pets at home. So in order to give those tiny creatures enough exercise, you know, you have this circular wheel and the hamsters can run within that wheel. So if you run within that wheel, what happens? You get this sense of moving, but in reality, you are not going anywhere. Okay. Oh, Vedant. Hedonistic treadmill. Man, your comment hurt me. Hurt me because it's brutally honest, huh? So the closest option that comes to that idea is absolutely answer B. And since most of you have shared that, I can pick it up. We also have C, to lead a life driven by purpose, but then hamster wheel aspect. You don't reach anywhere. You're not going to make it to any goal. So hamster wheel aspect is you are moving, but then you're not going anywhere. And that's why B. It's once again a negative thing, right? Humans are being treated to hamsters. Can never be great. And here is your next question. One more chance of exercising your mind on another question. Okay, so I'm getting C, I'm getting another C. Sonali, is it the answer to this question? B. So which of the following sentences reflects the reversal? Okay, the key here is reversal of the statement. So normally we ask you this reiteration of an idea sort of a question where we pick up something from the passage and ask you what does the author mean by it. But here we are saying which of the following is the reversal of this statement. So it says vulnerability must be warded off at all costs, right? So in the context of this particular passage, if we see, A says we must take part in stupid and adaptive customs as our life has become precarious. But then, why are we participating in these customs? So that we can hold on to that job. Or in other words, we are trying to ward off vulnerability. It is our way of getting rid of that vulnerability. So does it reverse the statement? No, it does not. How about B? We must organize our life around practices which are ridiculous in nature. Now, the practices that are considered ridiculous by the author of this passage, why do people adhere to those practices? Because of the precarity, because they want to hold on to their job, because they do not want to become vulnerable to layoffs. So this is again not a reversal. It is consistent with what the statement says. See, we must show resilience instead of giving into practices which make no sense. So if you do not indulge in those silly practices, you are making yourself vulnerable. You are putting yourself in a precarious situation. You're not warding off vulnerability. So this is opposite to what the sentence says. Let's also look at D. We must keep ourselves precarious as it is the cost of progress. Well, this is neither consistent nor against, but then. And okay, even if I look at the first half, I can probably consider it contrasting, but the second half, the reason offered makes it ambiguous, and that is why I think when I compare C and D, D can be ruled out and we can choose C as our option without any hesitation. So how's your experience working on these two passages? If you enjoyed it, if you thought you've learned a thing or two and it gave you valuable practice, don't forget to leave a like. That like will ensure that my vulnerabilities are warded off. And here is a thought that I felt can benefit you. It's from Queen Elizabeth II, the one who just passed away, or recently passed away. Shouldn't say just, it has been a while now. It is worth remembering that it is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. Okay, so it's never about changing your life dramatically. No, just a gentle nudge here and there, just 5, 10, 15 minutes of the right direction, right kind of effort here and there, done consistently, is going to be absolutely magical. Okay, and that can put you into this elite group of people who have gone on to get these absolutely elite levels of percentiles. Okay, these are just some of our students of our classroom programs. So if you are considering CAT, you can definitely look at our classroom programs, a very comprehensive course. And to sweeten the deal a bit, we have a scholarship test happening on 28th of May. Through that scholarship test, you can get up to 90% off. Besides, we also keep on conducting some really fabulous sessions here and there. Okay, so one such session is happening on 30th May, where you see the topic in this purple box. If you're interested to discuss this, please make sure that you attend this workshop by registering. And you want more practice, head over to BYJU'S Exam Prep app, where we upload a daily section quiz. Make sure that you keep participating in all the sessions of this series, in which you can go ahead and practice with our faculty members, which are some of the best in the industry. And that's it from me today. Make sure that you like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever is said. You already know this. The script is pat on in your mind as well. So I'll stop here. Until I meet you again, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch, and have a great day ahead. Take care.